Welcome back to the RTF podcast to refresh your feed so you don't have to. My name is Matt, his name is Matt, and this is episode 64. We should go to a thing like Digital Dreams or something like that, man. For real.
Did you see the Veld lineup?
No, apparently it's really good.
I'll bring it up. Hold on.
We were just for the context. We were just listening to some
Rudy J.
Hell yeah.
Children. Great fucking classic tune. So in Toronto, downtown Toronto, they hold Veld
Toronto
Music
Veld?
Festival. What?
When is it? In the summer?
It's the 4th of August.
That's my birthday. Did you even know that?
Yes, I did. It's in my fucking calendar. It is in my calendar. Matt.
Okay,
I'm just letting you know.
okay,
I'm just letting you know. And apparently there's some sick as fuck headliners and people. If I can bring this up, and it would be fantastic if it loads. So
Yeah,
the 2023 lineup, Above and Beyond.
We're like the big names.
Yeah.
The biggest
So
names.
the big names would be Above and Beyond. Do you know who they are?
Yeah.
Okay, they're a trance group. Don Diablo.
Okay.
That's a good one. I don't want to sign up for this. Thank you. Gareth Emery, another trance artist. Very nice. Gorgon City.
Gorgon Ramsay?
No, Gorgon City.
Gorgonzola?
Okay.
Gorgonzola?
Rez, Sophie Tucker, Zed. A few other ones. Loud Luxury, Tiesto. Deadmau5, apparently. Perfect. Timmy Trumpet.
Well, Tiesto's Timmy Trumpet. Tiesto's like
Timmy Trumpet.
Like I never realized how big he was. He's like a legend.
Yeah, he's massive.
Like one like a all time like legend.
Yeah.
He's like David Guetta like status like.
Lost Frequencies and Medusa.
You're just like my favorite song going round round my head. That's what Lost Frequency sings, I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it
Anyway,
is.
it's fine. Medusa, your boys.
Yeah, but this is my dog.
Yeah.
That's a
There's a whack of people.
That's a pretty nice lineup.
Yeah. Whack of people.
I never thought of being like a house music fan until
Dude,
maybe I turned like 20, bro.
Yeah, the last
Maybe I
couple
turned
years
20.
he's been just straight vibing, to be
Yeah,
honest.
literally.
I like it.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to today's episode of
welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
welcome. How's it going? We're just sitting doing a little bit of chatting here, talking about what's going on later this year. August 4th to 6th, by the way. That's the
My birthday weekend, yeah.
yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Downsview Park, so that's cool.
Oh, okay, that's not too
Yeah.
far. We're chill. It's not downtown.
Well, you know.
That's good.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, keeping on topic of music, did you watch the Grammys?
Nope, didn't. I saw it happened. Didn't watch it though.
See, a lot of people don't care for the Grammys.
I'm one of those people. I don't care.
Like, I couldn't believe it. The Grammys and the Oscars, for us, it's like, we used to have, like, parties. Like,
I remember that. I remember, like, being invited or whatever to, like, oh, the Grammys, the blah, 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 let's watch together. Or, like, the Oscars or whatever, just, same thing, watch together. Everybody just sat around a small TV.
And you should fill out those sheets. You ever fill out those sheets?
It's like the bingo type game things.
Yeah, no, it was
that?
it was like for ours it was like you pick like who's gonna win best actor, who's gonna win album of the year.
Yeah, like,
and like you try to predict the whole Oscars, right? And we used to
you can do
that
like a
every year.
bingo out of it. You can do like the whole thing there, but it's it's-
Honestly, these Oscars were fantastic.
Really?
These Grammys were fantastic. The performances were just like amazing. Like
who performed?
there was like literally all the big names: Jay-Z, DJ Khaled, Harry Styles, Sam Smith. Sam Smith.
Oh, I saw the Sam
Lizzo.
Smith one.
Yeah,
I saw this.
I don't know if Adele performed. I can't remember. I think she did.
I don't remember.
Then there was like all these like old hip hop groups like Run DMC, Salt and Pepper. There's like so many. I'm blanking. There's LL Cool J, like a gazillion. There's literally 1,000. I can't remember. Lil Baby performed as well.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the winners and such?
Yeah. So I thought, okay, I'm a big fan of Harry Styles.
Yep, I think you are. Yeah.
I really enjoyed his album. I thought his album deserved to win and things like that. Obviously, Beyonce beat like the record for the most ever Grammys achieved by a single artist ever.
Okay.
She has the most ever Grammys.
Deserved
by anyone. Yeah. I don't know. I thought her album was great. She's going on tour and things like that, but I thought Harry definitely deserved album of the year, which he got.
Okay.
For Harry's House, right? It was just like
it was everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't not listen to it. Like,
What,
but
his
not by
album?
choice. I mean, but like,
Yeah.
it was
Like,
just everywhere.
Even as it was, just that song
Yeah.
alone was like everywhere, right? So there's a bunch of stuff. That whole album was great. Apparently, the tour was like amazing.
Super catchy. The most.
Yeah.
The most. Like.
Yeah, 100%. The tour was amazing. Everybody says that it was like the best experience ever. He goes crazy on stage. He's like a modern day Beatle. They call him all these wonky names.
I don't know. I mean,
but
the girls, they fed
Yeah.
over him hard.
yeah,
Like,
oh yeah.
it's a little obsessive.
It was crazy. But one thing I did want to say was, I didn't know that Drake and The Weeknd snubbed the Grammys for like so many years because they believe that it's an opinion based art rather than like they're not judging based off of factual
Off
numbers.
Interesting.
Right?
I mean-
so they've been they don't allow. Apparently, Drake won a Grammy or gave away a Grammy, something like that, and was still someone involved. But like I'm pretty sure what I read was that they both feel that they snub it because it's like not rigged, but it's not like true to what the numbers say, what the streams say, what the people say.
I get that. Yeah. That's
Like-
what a lot of people say. They're rigged and
Yeah.
whatever. And
It's hard to either agree with them or disagree because number one, how can I say that, oh yeah, they do deserve the best when I think that it's not even close. Him and The Weeknd, like Drake and The Weeknd, I'd make them win every Grammy, but that's because of my personal opinion.
But Drake and
You
The
know what I
Weeknd also don't. The Weeknd a little bit, but Drake and The Weeknd also don't trend on TikTok, and TikTok counts.
Yeah, well,
Like those count as
Yeah.
streams. So I think that's absolute horseshit. I don't think TikTok should count in any way, shape, or form because there's also like no copyright laws or anything for that. It's
Yeah,
so
but-
weird. It's
I
the
know, it's
weirdest
weird.
like gray area type. Like you blow up for a TikTok and then you don't get copyrighted because you're using a song. But then if you go to YouTube and do the exact same thing, you're gonna get copyrighted and demonetized.
Yeah,
You're
we
like-
did like a couple of our YouTube shorts got copyright claim on them
Yeah.
for like no reason, but they offer up the music.
I know. I know.
Like it'll say like trending sounds and then like or whatever, like just sounds recommended for you.
Yeah.
And I'll click one. I'll put one on the clip, and then it's like fucking I get copyright claim on it. It's like how is that even possible?
Did you hear? This is just a little story I'm gonna throw in.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the whole copyright claim thing on TikTok going on?
No.
So everything I just said I believe to be true. Anyways, whatever. But apparently there was some dude. So you made a sound, right? And I think your handle is, or let's use the refreshing the feed, right? So we make a sound. It could be us talking.
Yeah.
And we don't copyright claim our sound of us talking under the refreshing of the feed handle.
Yeah.
So some dude, he's been just like going around and copywriting people's sounds. And so now our voices, there's no music or anything. Our voices from the TikTok sound are his copyright for that particular video. And then if that video just so happens to blow up, then he can either strike us and he's been doing that. He's like striking us or like receiving money and stuff from monetization from people because their sounds.
It's genius.
He's
That's
just snaking.
genius.
He's snaking everybody.
Yeah,
It's
that's
wild.
genius. That's the world's biggest snake, but that's
Wild.
genius.
Yeah.
That's like amazing for him at least, not for everybody else.
He's a
But
dick.
There's tons of sounds. Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah,
Definitely
he's a
a dick. But there's tons of sounds that are like that are like
Yeah.
just people talking. It's like I don't know, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's like tons of
from
them.
movies and stuff. Where,
Yeah,
like,
tons of them.
You know the what is it? Refreshing, and then the dunk in the water.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
from Teen Titans Go. Like
Oh, I
nobody
have
would
no
have
idea.
ever like. This is a show that I think it still airs actually. Remember like Teen Titans, the cartoon?
Yeah.
From way back. They
Yeah.
made like that kitty version of like a
Like
different
cartoon,
anime.
yeah.
It was like a really
Yeah.
no. It was a cartoon before.
Oh, okay.
It looked like the old one looked more like anime, like old 2000s type anime draw, like whatever.
And then the new one looks like Ben 10. No, I'm confusing
like,
it.
I'm gonna show you a picture just so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, but that's fine. That's
Anyway, so like it looks like what? It looks like this. Anyway, so that's
like Ben 10.
It's like super even
Yeah.
that though, like it went from like super like 2000s anime looking to like cartoony and
Yeah.
so it's fine. A lot of these sounds come from all these different places and then they're just like resurfacing or like the biggest one now is the Carter Pewterschmidt dancing, walking, moving for whatever the bird in the
yeah.
cage and the
Yeah.
and then Babs went grocery shopping out the bird out of the cage.
Rearranging furniture. Yeah, that's it. That's a good one. That's a good one too.
It's just like that clip was from like 2016 or something. And now
So
it's like
probably even longer ago. Probably longer.
Yeah, it was
That's
wild.
crazy. Yeah, there's even ones that are like, this is my outfit for today. You know that one?
Yeah, I've seen it.
There's like tons of those ones.
There's
It's just
so
like
many.
it's just people talking. And there's the one of bro, I gotta show you after. It's like somebody holding a coffee,
Okay.
right? And it's some guy speaking. I don't know if he's speaking Portuguese or like Russian or something. He's like,
These two languages are not similar. In this
I know, but I don't know what
It's
language he's
fun.
speaking. I don't know what language he's speaking. But like, I think the original version was like him doing something, and he's like, he's like, opa. So it's probably Greek. He says opa. It's probably Greek. And these people like spill coffee and shit, and they like drop knives and stuff. It's
fucking
that's a good one
That's
too.
so funny.
No, that's like, again, okay, going back to what I was saying about
Yeah.
Drake and The Weeknd. They'd be number one in my books and a lot of people's books, right? Like they're taking the awards because I think it started. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure it started when if Blinding Lights didn't win the Grammy. I don't think it won Song of the Year Grammy.
I think you're right. I think I have memory of this where it's like that song was played so many over and over on
that
every
was like
platform.
biggest stream song in like the
And
history
then
almost.
It didn't win, and then people tweaked, and they're like, "I'm never coming again." I remember
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they got and then Travis Scott got gypped as well for Astroworld.
Yeah.
He lost to I think it was Billie Eilish or Cardi B.
Something like that. Yeah.
Invasion of Privacy, Cardi B. I think that was the album cover. But like, there's a bunch of scenarios like that where I think the way I look at it is that they don't take the information, like the songs that they're listening to, because there's a lot of profanity and a lot of drug use and well, I don't know how to put it.
Yeah. Adult content.
Yeah, like
that
adult
shouldn't be-
content. They're like
yeah.
glorifying gang violence and drug use and armed like gun use and stuff like that. I think that goes into like a negative bin for the Grammys.
Blinding Lights.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Like it doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying. Well, there's also there's conspiracy with like the meaning behind that song.
Literally
His
all
experience with like coke
literally
or ecstasy
all
or
of
something.
Cardi B is
Yeah,
the
like,
worst.
yeah,
is
Cardi B,
literally the
yeah.
worst, and
That's true,
she
too.
wins things. So like,
That's true too.
I'm
Well,
just saying.
Harry cleaned house, which is well deserved, and he's like very clean, very like love song type
I'm
of
pretty
artist.
sure the biggest thing I've ever heard from him is his he wears a wig. I'm pretty sure he's like
wears a
balding
wig?
or something. Yeah.
No way.
Apparently,
That'd be crazy.
This is just a rumor. I'm pretty sure I saw something like it. He's like balding or something, and he
That'd
wears
be
like a toupee.
Oh my god, he's shaking
That's
that
like
thing on stage
but like
though.
that's
He's
like the biggest thing I've ever like controversy wise I've ever heard from him.
really?
He can do it, and he does what he wants, bro. He fucking wears dresses and shit, and like nobody cares. He does his
Yeah.
thing. He makes
I think
super
it's-
catchy music. Like,
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
you
I
know,
think what he does is great.
unreal.
Who else cleaned house? It was him. Beyonce got 2, I think, and there was like another couple ones, but like Beyonce is like, we sort of like missed her glory days. We missed
we?
the Destiny's Child. I grew up with it, but I didn't like, I wasn't.
No,
I didn't
but
go to
that
the
was-
club with Destiny's Child.
Yeah,
And like single ladies, I was like what, 8 years old? You were probably like 10 years old.
Yeah, something like that.
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
remember being like exposed to it, but not in like the let's go out and clubbing type days.
Yeah,
no,
like that wasn't me. That wasn't like our
we weren't
time.
there. Yeah, we weren't there yet, which is very unfortunate.
Even Jay-Z as well. The
Yeah.
big times is Jay-Z. We were kids, right? Like we weren't adults yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like hard to. You still like them. Still think they're great. I still think they're both fantastic, right? But his performance as well. DJ Khaled, bro, such a meme.
He's
DJ
hilarious.
He is just like Khaled is just a walking meme. Like if you watch his like the way he just struts on the thing on the stage and does all kinds of stuff. Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Have you ever seen DJ Khaled play golf? He's a big
Hilarious.
He's a big golf
Hilarious.
guy. It's the greatest thing.
Videos of him playing golf, videos of him dunking, videos of him doing pretty much anything. DJ Khaled is like the funniest. Has to be the funniest.
I got sent it, and he's like, I don't want to be good at golf. I want to be great at golf. And
Yeah.
then like
Oh my
does
God.
like the ugliest fucking little like pitch
Swing.
shot ever. And it just lands like 3 feet from the pin, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Bro, there's the ones of him dunking where
Yeah.
it's like his like guts out and his ass crack is out because his shirt's up. Oh my god! And people like
is it
zoom
an
in.
ugly dunk?
Yeah, it was
Is it like it's not a good looking dunk, right?
because he's not an athletic
No,
looking guy.
you don't need
That's
to
what
be.
it
Hang
is.
on, you don't need to be athletic to look at somebody like Harry Higgs, for example, on tour. He's a big boy,
Yeah.
Right. His swing still doesn't look ugly. It's like a golf. It looks like a professional golf swing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not fucking
guess.
like. We're going real deep. He's not fucking Matthew Wolf with the stupid, and then swing at it. Like that's an ugly ass golf swing. And Matthew Wolf's a twig. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got
So
you.
it's like it's so funny because it just looks weird and off, but it just works. And you're
Yeah,
like,
no,
all right,
his
well,
definitely does not look like on at all. It doesn't look good at all. But he's like, even his like speeches with his kids are like so cute, such cute little kids. Like little boys look exactly like him, and like no one really knows his wife. People know his wife, but like not really.
I couldn't tell you. As somebody who like I don't really care for him, just because I just don't.
I don't know the name of his younger son. I know it's Assad because like the album and stuff. Cute little kid, and I don't know what the other one is, but he's like the whole thing. He was like holding up thing. So there was Bad Bunny. You know Bad Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's the biggest artist. He cleaned up to. I think he had one as well. He won a Grammy
massive.
as well.
He's
the biggest artist on the planet.
Massive.
Because he's got that like South America.
Well, listen, how many
like he owns South America and like because he's so popular in North America and all over the world, he like dominates.
The Latin community is just
crazy. Crazy. And he had so I don't know if you've seen clips
of the what?
Of his performance.
No, I didn't see the
So
clips of
Bad Bunny had literally everyone standing and dancing
I'm gonna look at images as you
to two of his like most popular songs.
Okay.
And the whole crowd, all these celebrities could not stop moving their hips. They could not stop moving their hips and just dancing the night away. It was like crazy because we've never seen that. I've never seen that. I thought it was like by far the best Grammys #1, and that performance along with the hip hop performance were just memorable. The most memorable things you can imagine. It was crazy, especially his.
Yeah.
His was like, oh my, like usually you see them like in their chair just doing this sort of thing.
Yeah,
everybody was up,
dancing.
like standing.
How can you not though?
I know.
How can you not? Like,
and the music just got, like everyone was just, and I even started dancing at home, right? Like everyone was going crazy. I'm in my bed, just like I'm just doing the cockroach in my bed, you know, like the shopping cart in my bed.
He was dancing.
No, it was good though. It was wild. I have to watch the Oscars as well. Those, like I say, we didn't do one for the Grammys because we haven't done it since I think COVID just like struck and that was it. We stopped doing them. We gotta do it for the Oscars as well. That's later on in the year. Moving into TV.
This is probably this might take up a little bit of the episode here.
Okay, so we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
I watched the first 4 episodes. The new HBO series, The Last of Us.
Last of Us, yeah.
You love video games.
I do. Okay, so I dabble. In the video game world.
Before we start,
Yeah.
did you play The Last of Us at all?
In 2013.
Fully?
So
like to completion?
So coming into this coming into this show, I have basically zero memory of.
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
okay. That's exactly me.
I have basically zero memory of. I have 5% memory. I remember the end a little bit. And then as I'm watching the show and like
I pick up stuff.
Things are like, ooh, they're coming back. So,
okay, that's exactly me. So I played it like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Literally a decade ago.
Yep.
And now I'm like as you watch, you start to develop like, okay, I kind of see this.
Now the thing I'm gonna ask you is, so you're remembering it all? Did you go back and compare?
So I've seen clips.
I went back and compared.
But you went to the game, like you actually pulled up the game.
No, I know I didn't. Like I pulled up the clips and it's easier done.
Yeah.
I watched just gameplay of things that happened. At this point, if you haven't watched 4 episodes, it is what it is. Spoilers.
Well, not really spoiling, but yeah.
Well, like, I mean, if you've played the game, it's super close. So,
it's you know what I gotta say, like I forgot a lot that happened. Like I could have gotten away with, if you told me that like 50% of it was close or like somewhat close. I would have believed you. I would have said like, yeah.
No, it's actually
it's way more than
pretty
that.
Close. Yeah,
it's way more than 50%.
So we're gonna let's start from the beginning. So I know you're a big videography guy. So the shots of them driving away in the car after he just demolishes the neighbor's face with that pipe or the wrench or whatever. She's like a brick.
Let me tell you something. Okay, you go ahead.
The scene, the camera work in the truck was basically identical to the game. I think
a lot of the cinematography a lot of the camera work represents a lot of gameplay,
and it works
like framing
so well.
I don't know why, Matt. I don't know why. This is what I'm gonna say. Prepare yourself.
I'm prepared.
The Last of Us is living proof that you can take a video game that's been like really thought out, really in depth, and really thought out with a great storyline, and you can take that game and adapt it to live action, whether it's TV or film, and have it achieve the same success.
So before this show, they say that there was a curse. Every project that has ever been tried to be put into
How was Halo? How was Halo?
Shit.
There you go.
You want to know why it was shit?
It has to be done properly.
You want to know? It was done properly. But you want to know why it was shit? Is because they strayed away from the source material. Everybody thinks, but here's the thing: the Halo show in itself was, and I'm a huge Halo guy, and so it's like, and I even said, and they're like, okay, we're gonna stray a little bit, and honestly, for you can't put everything that was in a video game into a TV show because it won't work. I completely understand that. I actually very much agree with that. There are some things in video games that just don't work for TV.
100%.
And things are going to change for a better story experience. So, for example, we're going to talk about this a little later in the episode with The Last of Us. I'm going to tell you, there are some scenes that I actually prefer in the show than towards the game.
Okay.
Unpopular opinion, but it's fine anyway. But you can't just go around changing core aspects of a character just because, and then have Master Chief end up fucking a prisoner of war and just...
What? You can't change things.
It doesn't. No, like
there's a very fine line of what you can change. Very fine line. Hold on.
I skipped that entire episode.
Which entire episode?
I actually skipped the entire episode.
Halo?
I didn't care about spoilers because I would let a day or two pass. I would read everything on Twitter and then I'd go watch the Halo episode. And there was an episode where Master Chief has sex with a prisoner of war that they kidnapped or whatever, found or whatever. She was a prisoner of the war in the show.
Okay.
And they were just fucking.
That's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's crazy. This happened in the game.
This is supposed to be a character. You're where it's like, oh, basically Stone Cold Killer. That is changed on a genetic level, purely for the sake of like I'm gonna go murder people and like murder the bad guys essentially and just complete the mission and that's what they're for. Yeah. And then if I die on the field, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then like later on in the games, he shows more humanity and this and that. And
yeah.
blah, blah, blah,
the way I think of it is like third person games, especially like story mode games. What are they called? What's the actual term?
Like third person, like storytelling. Yeah, it's just a single player. Type of...
Yeah. Okay. So those type of games that generally have a lot of cutscenes and a lot of like small tasks. You're not doing a lot of fighting necessarily, right? Like it's a lot of move. Like The Last of Us is a good one. Uncharted's a good one. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
I mean, even those games who had some fighting aspects into it as well, where they
where you're fighting, you're shooting, but most of it's trying to like sneak around and be quiet and things like that. Regardless, things that don't involve a lot of like combat, right? When you get into a game that involves a lot of combat, it's kind of hard to start recreating all that. And
I agree.
Like with like Halo's a little difficult because it's very futuristic and stuff. But
did you see it at all?
What Halo? Yeah. No, I saw trailers. And I saw like half of an episode.
But even what you're talking about there, they actually did a good job in the fight scenes, and they actually shot to like inside his visor shots of like first person type, like
dope,
whatever.
Those are sick. Yeah,
and it was actually like really well done. That's why I say like the show was really, really well done, and some of the characters they introduced were well done and whatever.
Yeah, but the storyline has to match.
All of a sudden it just fucking went out the window.
Yeah, the storyline has to match. That's why I think when you're basically telling a story, like even with like a Call of Duty campaign.
Some of the stories are so good.
The stories are amazing, and that's why people play. People don't play because of the actual like movement and stuff. Yeah, that's cool. They have a good time, whatever. But like playing multiplayer and like things like that are different. But when it comes to like story games, like story mode 100%. Games, whatever, they're playing for the story. So when you're adapting for TV and film, use the same story. People enjoyed it so not exactly the same because you want it to be interesting as well, right? But you can't
from the source material.
Yeah, you can't. There's literally clips. I don't know if you've seen them on TikTok. There's clips where they line up the gameplay side with the actual live action, and it's like line for line.
Yeah,
it's line for line. The framing is the exact same. The lines are the exact same. The props are the same. Goes so far as literally like the text on props. You know what I mean? That the actors interact with. It's like really crazy.
Well. They did it really well.
No,
So, like I said before, spoilers. However, on the air date of this episode, another episode of The Last of Us, which is going to be the Friday, is going to be out because
it come on Fridays or
it comes out on Fridays this week because the Super Bowl is on Sunday. So they're pushing back the thing. So if you're not 4 episodes by Friday, you're out of luck. Don't listen to this episode.
Yeah.
So
no, they like. I'm not really spoiling it by saying this, but for a little bit, it gave me a bit of Walking Dead vibes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a zombie apocalypse, right? It's,
right? Like zombie apocalypse, not really zombies, but like an apocalypse with like the creatures and all that, whatever, pandemic and breakout and all that. I really hope I didn't enjoy this most recent episode.
You didn't?
Did not
Why?
until the very end.
Why?
Until a small portion in the middle. I don't like the scavenging, the searching.
That's what they do, though.
That's like the whole. I can't have that be the whole episode. It has to be like us. Like, if it's more than 30% of the episode, I get very annoyed.
But he's a smuggler. Like, this is what he does.
I know, but like
he goes into the gas station and he tries to find the. That was this episode, right? He goes into the gas station, tries to find his supplies.
that was last episode.
Oh, that was the last episode. Yeah, you're right. I watched them all back to back, so it kind of fused a little bit.
I can't have that though. I need like I don't need like shit blowing up or people dying. Like I don't need that action. I just need like something to keep me going. Like for example, they come across guys.
Yeah.
They come across guys in the truck this episode 4.
Yeah.
Right? So no spoilers, but like that's interesting. Like that little like scuffle there, whatever that is, keep me interested. Keep me tagging along. You know what I mean? But I can't watch them fall asleep twice. You know what I mean? Like talking before bed, falling. I know it's like character development.
Yeah.
It's supporting the plot. It's part of the story. I get that. But you can do that. For me personally, I don't like how it drags on.
I mean,
I get you're trying to get 9 episodes. I get it's a lot of screen time. First of all, let's just cut what I'm saying right now. Let's talk about the first episode being so long.
The third episode was an hour and a half.
They're both the first one was like hour 20
yeah.
and like the next one's hour and 15 or whatever. Ridiculous.
You know what? Honestly, I
enjoyed it.
I was engulfed.
I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but I thought it was like very enjoyable. I think it turned the cheek for me. Like I was like, wow, I'm really having a good time watching this because I know it's not 40 minutes and see you later.
Yeah.
It's like a good hour and 15, hour and 20, whatever. So after going through the motions and getting past the 30, I can't remember which one. There's like one that's a filler that's shit. I think it's like episode 2 or something. But I just can't have that roaming in the car talk for like literally 40 minutes of screen time. Like it gets annoying.
This episode, so the most recent episode 4, they were talking a lot. I get it. I remember what it was. They're talking a lot. But it's because this episode was shifting their dynamic as characters. Because in the beginning of the episode, he called her Cargo.
Yeah. And then he calls her Ellie. He screams Ellie.
Yeah. He's been screaming Ellie for the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's true too.
But so he called her Cargo, and that's what he views her as like a, first and foremost, he was blaming her for Thing's death. For Tessa's death because whatever, and then she turned to him and went, don't blame me for a choice that you guys made.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like,
he's like, okay, like fine. Then it went from I'm just delivering a package, basically. That's what he tells her. To at the end when they were falling asleep inside the balcony for the second time, or inside the building for the second time, they were laughing at each other.
Yeah.
And in the game, it was supposed to be very father-daughter like because he's still wearing his watch. He lost his whatever.
Yeah.
And so
she said at the beginning.
Connection.
She said at the beginning that his watch was broken.
Yeah. He also got like flashbacks
out.
when what's it called? The guy was shooting the gun at her. Yeah. But that's supposed to be why. Like that's the reason. I don't mind it personally. I like seeing that development in the character.
No, I think they did. Honestly, to be completely honest, that's how I got my PlayStation 4. I think it was
with The Last of Us.
With the Last of Us bundle. I don't know if it was 3 or 4.
A whack of them came out. The 3 had one. The 4 has one. The 5 has it for free. Like there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I had. Yeah, it was like a couple like that. I can't remember exactly which ones, but no, I do think they did a great job. And HBO, do you watch on HBO Max? How do you watch it? You stream it legally? So do I. Cheers to that. Fuck him. I stream it illegally too. Fuck it.
We support. We do not support streaming illegal content, and we watch it on our streaming service provider.
No, I watch on HBO Max.
Yes. HBO Max all the time. Regardless, I really liked the episode. I think it was really well done.
I thought that the way they brought it back into the actual timeline was amazing.
One of the most flawless transitions you could have seen.
Fantastic. I think that was great.
And the thing is too, like,
and they just die.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not gonna. Okay, it's a spoiler. That's a spoiler. No, it's fine. Whatever. But yeah, it was really seamless, right?
Sometimes in pieces of you can see there are things being pushed pushed in towards the viewer's direction and just in just very forceful ways. This was the absolute most natural, like,
Yeah, it was good.
storytelling I've
Really good.
ever seen.
Like that
like-
one thing could have been a film.
Yeah,
Easily.
straight up.
That one episode could have been a film.
Yep, I agree. And the fact that it captured the characters like perfectly.
Yeah, it was good.
Even when they had basically nothing to work with, because in the thing, it's like it wasn't ever confirmed, but it was heavily implied that Bill and Frank in the game were partners. One of them is already dead by the time you meet. Like Frank's already dead by the time you meet them in game. And the story is a little bit different, right? So in the show, like they had dinner or lunch and stuff together, and they went to the compound and blah blah blah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think any of that happened. I think that you come across these people, if I remember right. You come across them, and then Frank got infected and hung himself before turning.
Oh shit!
So because he didn't want to turn into a zombie.
I remember that. I do remember that.
So he hung himself, and then you actually go and see his body.
Yeah.
And he wrote him a note. Like in his
Yes.
suicide note, he's like, "Yo, fuck you, Bill. Like I hate you."
Yeah.
Because they had like some fight, but it was heavily implied through like just side speeches or side speech and other things in media that it's like they were partners and this and that, whatever. When in this show, the complete difference was like, you know, fate brought them together, because how are you gonna bring like two gay men together in a fucking apocalypse?
I know,
especially in 2003.
Bro, it was the biggest.
I mean?
It was the biggest plot twist.
Yeah.
When they first kissed on the the piano?
On the piano, yeah.
I was like shocked.
I wasn't shocked. Like I knew it was coming. Already,
I knew
that.
I knew there was like little like hints at it, but I was like, oh my god, this is actually happening. Like I didn't think this was gonna happen.
Then just them living their life out for the next like 15 or whatever years, and it's just like
they age exponentially. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. But
it's they spray all the grays in the hair.
Yeah, it was so funny.
It was like whatever.
But no, I think it was really, really, really well done.
Yeah,
I like the fact that they were so conflicting. Where Frank was like the people person and the socializer, and Bill was like the conspiracy theorist, and I'm gonna keep to myself type, like survivalist type. Like I have a bunker in my house and whatever.
Exactly.
I really, really like those two plot points, and then the whole aspect of Frank being mad at Bill and then him hanging himself because he didn't want to turn. That's the first thing I thought of when after they it was after the sex scene or what I think or whatever, when he came running out of the house, like busted down the front door.
Yeah, and they were screaming at each other.
I'm like, this is perfect. I literally at that moment I'm like, this is absolutely perfect. Like towards it. From what I remember and then looking at it afterwards, I'm like, this is absolutely fantastic.
It did look good.
And then like them going together. I like the fact that because I think it personally makes sense. I like the fact that he didn't get bit, right? Because look how much protection is around. He fortified the fence with cars. He did all this stuff.
The guns and shit.
There's zero chance. Look, they put into place that there's no zombies gonna fucking enter because they're all gonna get clapped by his traps.
Yeah.
Right? The tripwires and the shotguns and the flamethrowers and the electric fence, like there's zero chance. So I love that aspect. And then the fact that they decided to give him basically like a terminal illness.
It's cancer.
He ended up in a wheelchair. And then like it was just so poetic, like the
it was
suicide
great.
Romeo
I'm
Juliet
telling you, the whole
thing.
thing. The whole thing could be like
it was fantastic.
We'll drink the poison. Yeah,
it was great. It was absolutely fantastic. I love the episode.
Could have been a film for real, 100%.
And then the last thing I just want to mention quick is the change in, again spoilers, Tessa's death. Do you know what the difference?
No.
The whole scene,
I know what happens in this series, but
so in the game, the way it was working, they were actually being chased by the government, and so they were trying to bring same scenario. They were trying to bring Ellie to the group of Fireflies and in the town or whatever. In the same thing, it was like the Senate building or whatever it was, and they all ended up dead. So that was exactly the same. Rather than in the show, the zombies were coming at them because they stepped on the plants, and they said it earlier where you're like, you can step on a root and then from like 12 miles away they'll come back, whatever. Yeah. It was actually like, I believe it was the army, like it ended up killing her.
Oh shit!
And whatever. So, but this time they made it so that because she also got bit though too. Same thing. She got bit. And then it was like her last stand type of thing because she didn't want to turn. She wanted to go out her way. Yeah. So this time, the kiss was a little weird.
Yeah, man. Ew.
It was a little weird because it was disgusting.
Yeah, it was gross.
I would have preferred to her get fucking mauled.
Yeah,
like, it was mid neck bite, and then she like whipped the lighter on the ground, and they all exploded.
Yeah, I think weird. Something about it was like he knows that she's been bitten already.
Yeah,
something about it said, because it was very like cautious. He approached it with very like a lot of caution.
Well, it's a hive mind. That's why. They're hive. It's a hive mind. They all feel the same thing.
Exactly. That's
like
what I'm
you
saying.
saw when the sun beam came over,
They all moved.
They all like freaked.
Yeah. Got you.
So I think it was like
it could have been. It was honestly, it was amazing. I'm looking forward. There's 9 episodes. There's 5 more.
9, and then here's the thing. So the first season is going to take place in the entire first game. So we know how the show ends.
Oh shit!
Right? Like we know how the first season of the show ends.
Don't say it because I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
I know how the show ends.
Okay.
It's supposed to end anyway. Because they're following it super closely now, so we'll see.
Yeah, it'll probably work.
And then season 2 is going to be The Last of Us Part 2. That's the way it's going to. Yeah, so the second game is going to be the second season.
Oh, that's dope. I'm good. That's good that they do it that way.
Yeah, they're doing it well. They're doing it really well. I really, really like it.
It looks good. Even like the storyline as well.
It's absolutely fantastic. I honestly have zero problems with this show, and that's very surprising.
100%. One thing I want to mention before we take off is there's a film that we're going to talk about that just came out recently that you're going to watch. I've watched it. You told me you haven't watched it yet.
Not yet. Yeah, it's going to be next.
It just came out, like literally just came out a couple days ago. It's called You People with Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill.
Yep.
And there's some other big names, a lot of other big names in it. I thought it was super interesting. Shout out to the film because they talk about podcasters and they mention podcasting. There's a big thing that the main character, Jonah Hill's character, his name is Ezra. He wants to pursue a career in podcasting, and basically the entire film, not to like ruin it or no spoilers or anything like that, but it goes into what's it called, mixed race marriages and like the conflicting ideas behind what parents and grandparents and family members,
older generations, I think.
Yes, and like even current generations, what sort of like the flaws are between having two mixed races that are nothing alike collide. Very interesting. It was like super interesting film, as well as sort of like pursuing your dream and getting ridiculed for it. A lot of like current relevant things. We're gonna talk about it after you watch it, like in depth. But it was really interesting. It talks a lot about like present day stuff, like sneaker culture is a good example of one. Music and some other stuff that's like really relevant to today, and podcasting obviously, which is cool. It's a dope one. It's a dope thing to watch. Again, we'll talk about it thing, but I want to say Eddie Murphy's hilarious in it. He's hilarious in it. Jonah Hill's hilarious in it, and I think it's definitely worth the watch. It's out on Netflix now if you guys want to check it out. But that is it for today. I do want to tell everyone listening about our merch that we're gonna be launching. So our merch, I'm gonna throw up the designs here, somewhere here on the screen. We're gonna have a Netflix inspired hoodie. We're gonna have a Disney Plus inspired hoodie. You know that we love that stuff. You know that we talk about that stuff all the time. That's our niche. There's gonna be 2 different hoodies to choose from, and there's also gonna be short sleeve, long sleeve shirts that are just with our RTF Aero logo, our refreshing logo, things like that. Those are gonna be dope as well. They should be out when this releases. They should be out, let's say 2 weeks from then. We'll be posting all kinds of it. Just want to give the heads up now. Show you guys the designs. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the designs. They're really cool. I really spent a lot of time on them. They're really dope. We really enjoy them because we like that shit. We like Netflix, like Disney Plus. But yeah, let us know what you think. That was episode 64. Matt, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Matt. It was an intriguing episode.
Of course, always. We always talk about that. And we'll be back next week, of course. Keep up to date in our Reels, TikToks, Instagrams. We post on Twitter as well soon. YouTube Shorts as well. We actually have some success on YouTube Shorts, actually. Some dear success on there. But if you're listening to the podcast, check out the podcast on YouTube in full video. And if you're watching the podcast on YouTube, take us in the car, take us on the road, take us in your AirPods, however you like it.
On a plane?
On a train, wherever you like. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Google Podcasts. We're on all of it. But that's it for this episode. Matt, thank you again.
Thank you.
And refresh your feet so you don't have to. Peace out.
Take care.